tuna fish spaghetti. If you've never had that, it's very interesting. Also, Germans love tuna fish on pizza. Every bike has a little bell, and if you're in the bike's way, you will have this bell rung at you until you move. Don't get run over by bikes.
I'd never been on like a train in Europe, and it was like Harry Potter. On holidays in America, so you picture like 4th of July, fireworks, parades, everyone's outside grilling, you go to the movies. And like their type of holiday, their 4th of July is October 3rd, and it is dead. There's no one on the streets. All the stores are closed. No one answers their doors. No one's outside mowing their lawn. It just looks like a zombie apocalypse.
The pillows, they're not rectangle, they're squares, and their windows, they don't open up and down or side to side. They tip in and out. I mean, our apartment had our washer and dryer in the kitchen, and then I thought that was just our apartment, and then I realized a lot of apartments are like that. So it was interesting because I spent majority on the east side. So we met a lot of people who were communists. I never thought that I would become friends with a bunch of communists. It just never crossed my mind as an American, but it ended up being wonderful. I had a lot of friends that had a lot of different political views that I had never really viewed before. I learned to respect other people's opinions a lot more. Maybe I shouldn't categorize them all as communists. A lot of them were just socialists and had more of those communistic ideals. But it was still an eye-opener to me when I started making friends with people with other political perspectives.
The first question was always, do you like Trump? If you call anyone any sort of animal, it's an insult. It's like you call them a spider or a pig or a cow. That was something that I learned. One big difference in the housing there, something that I didn't realize until I went there, is they don't have air conditioning. When I got there, I thought it was really weird that they put mayo right on their fries, but I love that. Like, I don't like it with American mayo. German mayo is much better than American mayo, but like the mayo directly on top of the fries and like eating it with a fork is way good. And then just all of their bread. American bread is nowhere near as good as German bread. I had a suitcase just full of German chocolate because it's so much better than American chocolate. Having all of that public transportation that you can just get anywhere with a bus or a train was really, really nice.
They follow rules. Like, if there's a rule, then they're going to follow it. Instead of saying no to something, like the German word for no is nein, but they'll just say no, which is like N with an O with an umlaut, and Ö, no. And I just love that. You're just talking to someone like, hey, you want to go get lunch? And they're like, no. Public bathrooms, public like restroom facilities aren't as available for free. If you're at a restaurant, you ask for water, then you're gonna pay for water because normally it's from a nice bottled water. I absolutely adore their love for punctuality. I grew up in a family where it's like, you know, you have to tell people that an event starts 30 minutes before it actually starts to get there on time. But in Germany, people are there like 5 minutes early. That's like punctual for them. And that's me. Like, I love that. I love how honest and kind of just like straight up with you German people are. Like, if they don't like something, they're just like, no, like, I don't like that. And it's not in a rude way at all. It's just kind of like let's not beat around the bush and say that we like something when we don't, you know, just like cut all that out and just be straight to the point. But people are okay with that because that's the culture and they're used to people being very straight up and very honest. When I first moved to Germany and I'd meet someone and they're like, oh, you're learning German? Say this word. And it's the German word for squirrel, Eichhörnchen. But that word is so hard to pronounce when you're first learning it, so it sounds like Eichhörnchen. It just sounds terrible. But on the flip side, it's a little difficult for some German speakers to say the word squirrel, and it comes out sometimes being like Squirrel. And so, you know, like there's the flip side to that word in English and in German.
Things close a lot earlier in Germany than they do here in America, which we may sometimes think, well, that's kind of inconvenient, but it's because the Germans all go home to spend time with their family. If you have a child in Germany, you get paid to, one, you get paid to have the child. Two, if you're the mom, you get, I think like 2 years off of like paid work or something. Maybe it was only 1.5 years. In the South, a lot of people are more conservative, and up in Cologne, they're a little bit of everything. And they say in Kölsch, jeder ist anders, which means quite literally means like every crazy is a little different, but because everybody is just really interesting there. They celebrate a huge holiday for them. It's called Fasching or Carnival. Everybody, the entire town dresses up like Halloween, and they just have this huge parade. Everyone gets wasted and drunk, but everything there is just small. The streets are tighter. The houses are tighter. There's a lot more used with each space because they don't have as much space to work with. And so you walk in a room and you open up one door and you have to close that door before you can open up another door, kind of a thing, depending on where you're at.
A lot of German young people love the whole idea of America and love meeting Americans. When you talk to anybody, they have a little bit of ownership in how everything works. The train systems and the cleanliness of it all, they feel like they contribute to that by following the rules and by, paying taxes, all that stuff. They're not afraid to say what they feel. They really are very hospitable. They very kind to guests. Just because we live in different places doesn't mean that we can't connect to each other, and doesn't mean that we can't be friends.